One time, a student came to the Baal Shem Tov, HaKadosh, the holy Baal Shem Tov, and shared problems and issues he had in his life. And the Baal Shem Tov gave him a very simple advice. I don't remember that advice, but it was something simple, like you should say chapter 102 in Tehillim, or like something like go to the mikveh, like once, something simple, do this, and that's it. That person went and kept on suffering for many, many years later. In one of the days, he opened his heart to one of his friends and shared the fact that once he met the Baal Shem Tov HaKadosh, and that the Baal Shem Tov gave him an advice, a simple advice. And that friend asked him, "Did you keep that advice of the Baal Shem Tov?" So he said no. Told him why. A simple advice. One chapter, one time to the mikveh, like something simple. Give $10 to charity. Something that like you can do it. It's okay. Like you're gonna make it. It's okay. You can do it. Not something heavy. He asked him, why didn't keep that advice? So that poor person answered, if you would know how hard it was for me to do it, and I myself cannot understand how to read one chapter is going to be so hard. So the friend told him, the heaviness, the obstacle, the problem of keeping that advice was not because of how hard that advice was. It was because that the Baal Shem Tov was involved in it. The Baal Shem Tov, a righteous man, can give you a simple advice that will be very easy for you to keep, ideally. But he himself, with his pure heart, will put such deep intention and will create that advice to be so effective and so powerful spiritually that the evil inclination will do whatever it can to prevent you from accomplishing that. And this is why when we hear about something that we know that is good for us, we must run on that direction. And to do it now, in the present time. Not to wait, not tomorrow, not in the next week. No, yes, I'm about to. It's never going to happen. If it's to move to the Holy Land of Israel, if it's to keep Shabbat, if it's to go to the mikveh, if it's to do 1 hour Hitbodedut, if it's to send the kids to certain school, if it's to make a change in your work, if it's to start reading the Tehillim, if it's to have an honest conversation with your spouse and to open your heart once and for all and really to do it, not to postpone it, because it will never happen. Because the evil inclination, he's our enemy, and we must understand what it means that you have an enemy. When you have an enemy, you have someone that wants to destroy you, that wants to take everything away from you, that wants the person to be miserable, that wants him to suffer, that wants him to go his mind and to lose his sanity and to lose his joy and his satisfaction from life and his desire to live, and wants to suck life out of the person in any possible way. And therefore, when you recognize someone as your enemy, you need to remember, you need to fight back. Haba leorgecha, if someone comes to kill you, hashkem leorgo, you need to wake up earlier to kill him. And the negativity of our mind, the darkness of our thoughts, all aspects of sadness, depression, anger, all bad attributes that all negativity, all ways of of hatred, hating yourself, hating others, talking bad things about other people, talking bad things about yourself, thinking bad about yourself, criticism, self-hatred, like we said. All those things that you go through in your mind, stress and fear, anxieties and jealousy, all those aspects, way of thinking, are the powers in the hands of the evil inclination to break the person's spirit and to suck life out. Means that whenever you find yourself falling to despair, to sadness, to anger, to frustration, to loneliness, to all those kinds of darkness, you are under the effect of the evil inclination. Those are not your thoughts. That's not your reality. Someone came to me, a person that from panic attacks on a daily basis, like once in a half an hour for sure, he has a panic attack. Someone that is terrified from life, a person that is so gentle and so fragile, he suffers all day long from fear and from pressure. All day long he is suffering. That person came to me and told me, I'm suffering so badly, except of taking medicines. I don't know if I have any way out of my pain and my sorrow, because for me, every single thing is horrible. Everything is horrible. That's how I see it in my mind. And if you're going to ask me, this poor guy is saying, if you're going to ask me, I'm going to tell you for sure that things are horrible. Really, that's how I see it. But I also see other people that are not suffering like me, and because of that, I'm doubting that my fear might be my problem. But in my eyes, through my eyes, when I look at things, things are horrific, things are horrible, things are going, everything is collapsing. But in reality, things are not so worse. Things are not really happening in that crazy fall. Things are not crashing one after the other. It's only that the fear is attacking you. And you are afraid from the fear itself. You are angry because of the anger and not because of the reason for that anger. That person can be so annoying, but if you would have a different mindset, you wouldn't care at all. You couldn't care less. You would just like, all right, like that's his problem. He's suffering so badly. You might even pray for him for health, for mental health, that he will stop annoying so many people. You might even care about him and have mercy for him. Oh, such a poor guy. Like he needs to go and destroy so many relationships with so many people, and he's just going and sabotaging his own life and other people's life. Like, poor guy. You would feel compassion for him. Instead of hating him and fighting with him and blaming him and being scared of his negativity and his effects, what he can do and what he might do, you wouldn't worry if your mind would work differently. And that's the thing. That we must educate ourselves. We must train ourselves to remember that negative thoughts are the thoughts that the Yetzer Hara, the evil is putting in our mind. Means that when you are sad, even if you find all the reasons 100% justified for you in your own mind to be sad right now, that's the trap. That's exactly where you fell. That's exactly where he grabbed you. That's exactly where he pushed you down to the ground to doubt the Creator and have hope and faith and to pray and your high self-esteem and to believe in your own power to rise and to shine and to succeed. That's exactly where he won and you lost. Because you allowed yourself to flow in his filthy way of being sad and depressed and feeling lonely. When you have so many reasons to be happy, even if things are wrong, even if some of the things that you desire to have, you don't, and they are a lack of your life, and you feel the pain of not having them, still, if your mindset is aimed to success, and you're a person that wants to build and wants to grow and wants to go and to inspire yourself and others, and you have people that you care about and you want to give them life and you want to support them, so do it. Even with the few pennies you have in your pocket, even with the small amounts of wisdom that you own, even with your short life experience and wisdom that you earned in life, you can make wonders if you're going to be a person that is active, that is productive, that his will is pulling him and pushing him to actions. And then you're going to overpower all forces of darkness and you're going to become a positive and effective person. And every time that you have an intersection in life and you don't know where to turn, you need to ask yourself, what will bring me 1 inch closer to happiness? Or at least to feel complete with myself, to know that I'm okay, to know that I did the best, to know that I will feel better with myself if I'm going to do that. That's the right direction. That is the direction that is aimed by heaven through the inner channel that is called your soul. And every one of us, we have a different soul, and our souls are all holy. And if we would understand the nature of creation, how the Creator himself created the world, and in which way he treasured himself into us, into our own bodies as vehicles, as holy chariots that are carrying godliness. Every single one of us is a portion of God, is a holy, godly soul. That's who we are. Chelek Eloka Mimal. And even a sinner that sinned all of his life and violated all rules and all codes of society, and he did horrible things every single day of his life, he did something horrible, and in age 100 he decides in the first time of his life to read the morning prayer from a Siddur book, and he will open the Siddur and he will say, Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehora. My God, the soul that you put inside of me is pure. He will not lie. He will not say a lie while reading that line and saying that his soul is pure. Because your soul is pure. Because soul is not something that can be impure like water. You cannot contaminate water. You cannot contaminate water. Water are pure. No matter what you're going to do with water, they will stay pure because water is pure. Air is pure. You cannot contaminate air. Air is pure. It might be not clean. It might be filthy, not worthy to drink or to breathe. But pure, it will always going to be. Why? Because that's the nature of its creation. The Creator made fire pure. Fire, you cannot contaminate fire. No matter what you're going to do. Fire is fire. Earth is earth. You cannot contaminate earth. You cannot. It's earth. It's pure. Fire is pure. Your soul is pure. No matter what you do, no matter what you did, no matter what you think to yourself, your soul is godly. Therefore it's pure because God is pure. And nothing that you will do will contaminate God. No matter how many times you violated all the Torah, 800 times in your lifetime, all the Torah, from Aleph to Taf, from A to Z, all of it, you sinned and violated all the codes, all the rules, you committed all the worst sins, crimes and felonies, every single halakha in the book, you dropped. Your soul is pure. Now you want to purify your body? You have a way to do it. Connect yourself to your soul. Means follow the inner guiding of your soul. How will you know? The soul is the source of your life. Life is what it keeps you want to live. It's good things that you have in life. It's the pleasant that you feel. It's the joyful moments of your life. It's goodness. It's all kinds of kindness. Ubacharta b'chaim. When you need to choose, you choose good. You need to choose life. The Creator gives us two options in every intersection of our life. It's good and bad. It's dark or light. It's life or death. It's to say the truth or to lie. It's only those two all the time. It's to be happy or to be sad. To feel good about it or to feel bad. It's to do something against your conscience or to follow your inner deep understanding of what needs to be done. And sometimes it's hard. The Gemara is telling us that the righteous people in Judgment Day are standing and crying, and the evil people are standing and crying as well. Everyone are crying in Judgment Day. The righteous people are crying and the evil people are crying. The evil people are crying because when they look at the test that they had in life, that they failed in that test, therefore they became evil, and we're calling them evil because they failed the test and they were evil all their life. That test looked to them like one thin thread, one hair height. So tiny, so small. When they look at that obstacle that they had, that for that reason they failed, it looks so tiny in their eyes and they're crying, how could I be so silly to fail in such tiny test? If I would climb and walk above that thread, I would win. I would win eternal life. I would become one of the righteous ones. That's how it seems in the eyes of the evil ones who are crying for their failure. But the righteous ones, why are they crying? Because when they look back at their test, they see a huge mountain behind of them. And they're crying because of their memory, remembering the huge test that they passed in life. How hard it was for them to climb above that mountain. So how can it be? How can it be that they will look, the righteous ones will look and will see that test as the mountain? For righteous people, it was supposed to be even easier than for those evil ones. Evil ones are weak. They're not enjoying the wisdom of heaven. They don't know the advice that the Torah gives you. They were not enjoying pure wisdom and knowledge that will qualify them to deal with tests and to confront enemies and to succeed in life. Therefore, their test was supposed to be even harder. But for the righteous ones, that they are so knowledgeable and so close to the Creator and blessed, for them it was supposed to be easier. That's what we want. We want our lives to be easy. We want the blessing to hover upon us for us to succeed and to rise and to have power and energy and sources to do big things. So how can it be that the test of the righteous ones will be harder? Because in every moment of your life, you face a test that is in the size of one thread. And every time you need to pass that thread. And the righteous ones who passed that test immediately faced another test in the size of the same thread. And they passed it as well. And one thread and one hair on top of the other, during those wonderful years of effort that they invest serving the Creator, it became a pile of threads. It became a pile of hairs. And now it seems to be like a huge mountain. Past thousands and hundreds of thousands and maybe even millions of tests in their life with great success. But the evil ones, even from the tiniest test, they gave up and said, no, I can't do that. I can't do this. I'm not able to. And they gave up early in the beginning on the victory and the success that was offered for them. It was all the same. That just the righteous ones kept on passing tests one after the next. And this is what that we're going through. There is an amazing tale, and I told it a few times, and I want to repeat it and tell you that tale again. There was a person that was cleaning offices. That was his job. Every morning he would wake up very early and going to that office and cleaning everything, fixing the tables and the chairs and throwing the garbage from yesterday's day of work and fixing and putting everything and washing the floors and mopping and opening the doors for public and workers to come. He woke up in that day in the same early hour, let's call it 4:30 a.m., and he was over there at 5, opened the office, and then he saw Yesterday night there was a huge party over there in the office, a great mess. He was very upset. He realized that he's going to work way harder than usual, but he had no other choice. He had 2 hours from 5 to 7 to clean the whole floor. And he started run like crazy, throwing the garbage, packing all the bags, putting the garbage cans back in their places, the seats, all the food from all the tables. He's collecting and cleaning and fixing everything that needs to be done. After 1 hour and 10 minutes, he was standing in front of a clean office, all sweat and wet and filthy and tired and upset. At least he knows that he fulfilled his job and he felt okay with himself, took his bucket and his mop, went to a small room, sat over there and fell asleep. After 10 minutes he woke up, looking at the watch. Okay, he still have 40 minutes to open the gate, to open the doors for the people to come. He was okay, going out, standing up on his feet, going out of his small room. Suddenly, out of his eyes, darkness. Everything is upside down. Every single thing he fixed is broken now. All the garbage back in the bags. All the tables are moved from their places. All the seats are all over like someone is making a joke out of him. It's a prank. He's looking to the sides. He can't believe his eyes, what he sees. But he looks at the watch. He has 40 minutes to clean. No one will help him. So he's looking to the sides, asking, who is it? What's going on? Is it a joke? No one answers. He can hear his own voice hitting him back. Is it a joke? Is it a joke? Is it a joke? Echo, right? You say echo? The echo is hitting him back. 40 minutes to go. Losing his mind, running like crazy. In 20 minutes he was able to fix everything again. And meanwhile he's cursing and he's upset and throwing words to the air and fixing and running and sweating with no breath. After 20 minutes, what that he did before in more than 1 hour, now in 20 minutes he did because of the pressure. And he's standing like that, exhausted and tired and frustrated and angry and dead, looking at a clean and bright and shiny and sparky office. Everything is great. 20 minutes to go. He said to himself, okay, I'm going to go now and rest a little bit. I have still 20 minutes to rest until I need to open the doors. He goes into that small room, put his bucket aside and sitting, falling asleep. After 10 minutes he opens his eyes, standing barely back on his feet, going out of that small room, looks at the office. Darkness fell on him again, and greater than the first one. The darkness of the same mess like in the first 2 times. All the tables are upside down, the chairs, the garbage, food all over the place, drinks spilled on the carpet, on the tables, on the seats. Looking at the watch, 10 minutes to open. Only 10 minutes. He does not have time to curse. He does not have time to be angry. He has maximum of 10 minutes to fix it all, or that he's gonna lose his job. In 9 minutes he did what that earlier he did in 20 minutes and 1 hour and 10 minutes before. And like crazy he worked and lost his breath and barely able to stand on his feet. In the last moment he finished and standing and looking and seeing a bright and clean office. On his way to open the door, to bring all the people into the office, to open the doors, he's going in front of that small room that he was resting in, and he's looking at that room, and he's seeing that instead of resting in his own small room every time, he fell asleep in the elevator. And every time that he opened his eyes, he woke up in a different floor. And with great effort, he cleaned 3 floors instead of 1. the joke is on us. You know why? Because we think to ourselves, I'm stuck in the same problem every single day of my life. Things are not changing. I'm repeating myself over and over. I'm stuck with the same issues all the time. When in reality, every day is a different day. And every test is a different test. And you're already achieved tremendous amounts of success. And you harvest glory and honor and respect and appreciation in heaven, corresponding to your own actions as the result of your own effort, that the days and the stress and the hours are forcing you to forget. Because forgetfulness fell down to the world and we don't remember who we are and what we achieved until now. But every letter that you said until today is written, and every penny that you gave to charity is collected and written, and every good word that you spoke in your life already been said and written in the diary of heaven. And every moment that your heart was following God and the truth and the Creator, and when you wanted to bring justice to the world, and when you wanted to do good things, even your goodwill counts. It's written in the Zohar HaKadosh, the book that's been written by Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and his holy friends, that in the world to come, in Judgment Day, for those who dies in this world, and why am I saying for those who dies in this world? Except for 10 people, everyone died. 10 people were the only people who never died in this world, and they went up to heaven with their bodies. But except for them, everyone else died. So why am I saying for those who died? Because also the last generation will not. Also the last generation that will accept the face of Mashiach and will walk hand in hand with him, he will see the resurrection of the dead and will experience the redemption, and then 1,000 years of redemption, and then will jump with all the rest of us life in the world to come. We are not about to die, even if it's hard for you to believe. But those who will survive the struggles of this world will live forever. Yichyu lanetzach. Will enjoy the redemption in their bodies and will live for 1,000 years of greatness and spiritual development, and everything will just bloom for 1,000 years with all your loved ones. And death will disappear from the world, and all darkness will melt and disappear. So, for those ones who will have this ability, I just want to share something with you. If you're gonna forgive me for a moment, I'll take one moment of your time, please. The Creator is screaming to us, Bekol Dmama Daka, in a very quiet voice, to every individual. Believe in yourselves. Believe in yourself. He's saying it to you. And he means by that you need to make a change in your life, in your mindset, and to stop following that sadness that we spoke about earlier, and just to change direction and to bring out to the world the treasures that he himself installed inside of you. In the nature of your creation, you have such a great potential to be similar to our ancestors, to Abraham, to Isaac, to Jacob, to Sarah, to Rivka, to Rachel and Leah, and also to Zilpah and Bilhah, to all the wives of our ancestors and to our ancestors. Each and every one of us is a great grandchild of those pillars of light, and therefore carries within the same nature of our ancestors, of the sages, of those holy ones who brought us down to the world. And if you don't see the connection between you to Abraham, you need to ask yourself, in reality, even if you don't remember the names, you are a child of your parents. And your children and your parents, they are children of your grandparents. And that method goes on till the beginning. And it's a simple math. It's a simple path of history of life that we all came out of Adam and Eve, that started life in the Garden of Eden. We all started there. And our souls are coming out to this world from the souls of our parents. When our parents met and mate, they created us. And we enjoyed the spark of their soul into our bodies, and from that moment on we became individuals. But one moment earlier we lived as spirit, as soul, in that soul of our parents. And before of that we lived inside our grandparents, and before of that we lived inside our great grandparents. And you lived inside of Abraham. You lived inside of Sarah. You lived inside of Adam and Eve. You lived inside of them. Your soul experienced life while you were still inside their bodies. Just that forgetfulness came down to the world and you forgot who you are. And today you don't remember who you are. And you don't relate yourself to your true self. But in your soul, you are wired and connected to your true potential, to the ancient archives of history, of knowledge that came down to the world ahead of time, before of time, from the ancient days before creation, to the sea of souls, that your soul is pulled from that place. And therefore, if you connect yourself to your soul by connecting your awareness to the inner voice of goodness, like we spoke before, listening and following to the voice that is guiding you to be alive, to be happy, to ask and to demand goodness and kindness and all kinds of prosperity. When you connect yourself to that inner voice, you're connecting yourself to that source of inspiration, to a source of goodness that can make changes in the world like the Creator Himself. Because the Creator follows the prayers of the righteous ones, and a righteous one cannot be righteous when he's not aware to his closeness to the Creator. When you go and you feel bad and negative with yourself, and you're judging yourself and criticizing yourself all day long, hating yourself and blaming yourself, you're losing touch with your true identity, and therefore all your tools, all your weapons, all your treasures, all your gifts, all your blessings are lost. You don't know what to do. In no situation, you're just lost. You don't know. What should I learn? I don't know. How should I pray? I don't know. Where should I work? I don't know. And what I'm going to do? I don't have a clue. Why is it happening to you? Because you're disconnected from yourself. If someone would sit with you and you would have enough time to answer, and he would ask you, but what your dreams are, but what your hopes are. If you would have the tools and the power and all the potential and all the energy and sources, what then would you do? One person would say, I would still run hotels. I would still be the manager of that branch, of that office, of that company. People love their jobs. Not everyone, but some of them, they love their jobs. Some people, that's their nature. I have a friend, he runs homes, he manages homes. That's what he loves to do. He has that connection and that flow and that understanding, and he would want to do that forever. Like ask him, what do you want to... That's his energy. Some other person wants to be a singer, another person wants to be a dancer, another person wants to be a scholar, another person wants to go and play with his kids soccer on the grass in the park. That's like That's what he wants to do in life. He wants to go fishing. He wants to enjoy nature, to explore, to look at the stars. He wants to go to the darkest desert. He wants to be in Utah in the middle of the night counting the stars. That's what he wants to do. Every person on earth has a dream. If you want to know who you are, don't ask yourself, where am I holding today? Ask yourself what your dreams are. And that's where you're meant to be. And that will be the redemption for you in the day of glory. When the Creator will reveal His goodness, that will be your share. That all your real dreams will come true, will fall into place. And all the obstacles and all the problems will just disappear and melt and vanish from your life for good. And we should not give up on that. We should not be satisfied with less. Oh no, but now I just need to cover my mortgage. Oh no, but now I just need to pay my rent. Oh no, but now I just want my kids to find that school. Yeah, you need to do that. But while your mind is aiming to a higher and divine purpose, let's say that your kids will be in that school and you're going to pay the mortgage and all your expenses will be covered. Will you be a happy person? I'm not sure. I'm not sure that you're going to be so happy. Okay, so then now rent is off, kids are in school. That's it. Are you really happy? Happy and complete with yourself? Things are perfect? No. No, not at all. You have an inner struggle. You have an inner mess. You have an inner war. You have an inner lack of quiet. You have an inner struggle. You have traumas. You have pain. You have fears. You have anxieties. You have stress from 600 directions in the same time. And you need all those things to be healed and fixed as well. So why to pray only on this? Why to pray only on that? Why not to go all the way and to ask for the complete redemption? Because even if all your prayers will be answered and all your dreams will come true, will you be able to feel happy and good with yourself when you know that your friends are still in trouble? When other people's dreams did not came true yet, and people will still struggle in front of you when you're going to cover the mortgage and going to pay all the tuitions and everything will be set for you for good? Will you be happy when you know that still people are hospitalized and people are still paralyzed and people are still sick and poor and being killed and chased for their religion, for their belief, for the fact that they are alive on a certain land, just willing to live their life and to plow their lands? Will you be able to be quiet if you have all the wealth in the world when someone else is in struggle? Not if you're a soul, not if you're a kind person. Therefore, there is no satisfaction and no reason to aim for anything lower than a complete redemption that we have been promised to receive. That death will disappear from the world. The darkness will not affect us no more. That animals will not fight. That people will put their weapon down. That there will be no more war, no more poverty, no more illnesses and plagues and sicknesses and all kinds of darkness, and that everyone will be friends with each other and will respect each other. This is what we live for, and not for anything else. And the evil inclination broke us so badly that we lost that purpose and that goal, and everyone is isolated in his small and tiny life, wrapped with problems and surrounded with issues and pressure from all directions, and doesn't know what to do and can't deal with anything. You know why? Because that's not the right direction. Because to deal with all those things is too hard. But if you will just scream to the one that can change everything, And you're going to want others to scream with you. When Am Yisrael are screaming, then the Creator hears their cry, accepts their roar. And we need to strengthen ourselves, to support our siblings. And our siblings are not only Jewish people. We are part of the nation of Israel. And the nation of Israel is something way, way greater and larger than the tribe of Yehuda. Jewish are the tribe of Yehuda and some Levites that joined us. And few more refugees from other tribes that found their way to join the nation of Israel in its current shape. That it's the Jewish tribe, the Am HaYehudi, the Anashim HaYehudi. It's one tribe. 1 out of 12. You have 10 lost tribes that are walking around us, and we're finding it hard to recognize them. Because the skin of their color might be different, because their beliefs today might be different, because their language might be different, because they don't remember who they are, and we lost track of where they went to and what happened with them in history. We don't recognize them. But it might be that your neighbor is one of your siblings. She might be your sister. He might be your brother. He may be a brother, a child of Asher, or Gad, or Naphtali, or Zvulun, or Issachar. He might be from Afghanistan. He might came now from China, or from Korea, or from Russia, or from Hungary, or from Egypt. He just came, and he opened the conversation with you in the grocery store. If he has a passion to your nation, if from some reason he finds the Torah, the Bible, attractive, desirable, he wants to learn your rules, he finds it interesting that you keep the Sabbath, and he's talking about it, ask yourself why. What's going on in this world that that person suddenly cares about the nation of Israel? He came from Mexico. He came from Algeria. He came from Tunis. He came from Japan. Why does he showing so much interest in the nation of Israel? Ask yourself, is it innocent? If you find it innocent and good and pure, my advice to you is to respect him like a brother. It doesn't mean that by the Jewish rules, halachically, you're allowed to marry him and let him pour wine for you and to your cup, or that you can count on his shchita. No. He might still need to convert to join the Jewish people by the rules of the Shulchan Aruch. But to forget that he might be one of those 10 lost tribes is a violation of our mission. We've been chosen by the Creator to keep the torch in its flame shining for the whole world to be able to recognize that light and to come from 4 wings of the universe to enjoy our light, the one that we maintained, the one that we kept in years of sorrow, of decrees, of wars, of poverty, of plagues. We were those ones who were able to stand those tests and to pass the torch from one generation to the next till the last. But now, in the present time, the mission is different. It's not only to hold it and to keep it, it's also to uplift it and to let people see that there is light, that there is a center to the world, that there is a place to join, that there is a purpose for life, that there is a Father that is collecting Nidchei Amo Yisrael, all those ones who've been neglected and fell to outside of the camp. We need to gather them. We need to allow them back in by the rules of the Torah, by the rules of the oral Torah, by the voice of the real righteous ones who are guiding us in the path of truth. But to deny that they have and connection to our nation is a very, very wrong thing to do. Is a great violation. Is something very, very wrong. We need to recognize our own souls, to have that ability to recognize the same soul in others. Therefore, we have a job in our own vehicles, in our own houses, to find our true, good, honest, and beautiful identity, to recognize ourselves, and then to go and recognize it in others, and to help them to grow as well, with time, with patience, with love, with honor, and mutual respect. And may the Creator answer to all our prayers, and may all our holy desires take place in our days and in the days of our loved ones. Amen. Ken Yehi Ratzon. Thank you. The world does not exist. Because Olam Milshon Ne'elem, the world is just blocking the light of truth. The world called Alma Deshika, world of light, is just a fake. We're just inside of an illusion. It's just a fake. We're just inside of an illusion.